Today promises to be an amazing match as we spectate one of the top ranked Snorlax players. This is going to be Celestial, so if you're out there watching this Celestial, please let us know. Snorlax is an interesting character. I know certain things about it, of course, but I do want to admit, after even playing since Pokemon Unite came out on the Switch, I have actually never played Snorlax myself, but definitely been paired up with some amazing Snorlaxes. Has the ability to basically be one of the most helpful allies, and I've certainly seen Snorlaxes who can do some damage, even though it is just a little bit weaker on the offensive. We'll kind of speed up the time here just in the beginning part of the game and everything. While we're also here, I do want to apologize and acknowledge a viewer who they did ask for a Slowbro Spectator matchup. That's going to be Shadow Creek SD. I want to thank you so much for requesting that Slowbro. We actually have not been able to find a Slowbro here on this channel that is not against bots, and so I've only found one Slowbro since the time basically that you requested it. One match where there was a top-ranked Slowbro player. Doesn't seem to be as popular, which is sad. I actually really like the character Slowbro. Played it many times, but we will get that for you. So again, I did kind of, I guess I didn't promise, but I told you that it would probably be the next one after our Cinderace Spectator. So of course, you guys can check out. We're going to try to hit all the characters eventually, you know, obviously. But yeah, just wanted to get that done here in this early part of the game as our Celestial Snorlax right here. Going to be scoring those early points. Very good. That's wonderful if you're Snorlax, right? Because you have all that HP, you have all of that, I guess, just ability, the girth to withstand and block in this early game. You know, let your attackers, let your mobility players, they can all get those points and stuff while you kind of put your body on the line. But if you score kind of early on, and especially like this, the poison actually unable to let you score right there, just in that specific example against the Haunter. But when you can score like that, it's going to heal you back up. It's really got to be frustrating for people on the Orange Squad, for example, who are going up against a Snorlax when they do such a thing. And Snorlax also with the Gluttony, that's its passive ability, is going to, of course, heal extra when getting those citrus berries. And so oftentimes you'll see a Snorlax player, you know, they might go and steal the opposing side's berries. And so Snorlax can be definitely a frustrating character. And then we just see it right there. They can also rest, of course. So able to get back that HP at times where it's really needed. And of course, you guys probably know this, but just in case it does need to be said, you know, going back to basics here, Snorlax is obviously going to specialize in getting into the enemy's face, you know, and so kind of disabling them or just taking hits for the team, while attackers and the mobility-focused Pokemon can either get around for those KOs or get around for those goals, whatever it may be. I did just also want to address, sometimes it's tough, you know, especially if we're looking at maybe a jungling player, which today we're not really doing with Snorlax. Snorlax is not really going to jungle, at least most of the time, man. That would be interesting to see, right? But obviously we see our Snorlax today laning and stuff. We have spectated a lot of jungle. Wow, that just sucks for that Zeraora. Was about to get a massive boost for purple right there with a lot of points and getting ganked by that Haunter. Good play actually by the Haunter though, of course. We got a lot of purple squad right now down below, ready for that dreadnaw, so they are positioned pretty well, pushing back orange too, so getting good control. And that's one of the wonderful things about Snorlax, is being able to wall off your enemies. Sometimes literally, you know, when I say that, but I'm also just talking figuratively. Snorlax able to disrupt a lot of the opposing players, whatever their plans may be. But orange actually trying to make that push now. They still did have a little bit of time, and we haven't gone for the dreadnaw yet. It hasn't been initiated, but just as we're saying that, you know, we're getting close to it, I would say. Gengar actually going to unite out of there. Sort of interesting. This is a good time to use your first unite if you are a character that has it this early on, especially. Snorlax just going to be completely ganged up on right there. That was an unfortunate situation. Purple was actually able to do a lot of damage, so a lot of orange is weakened just for a perfect opportunity like this with Talonflame to be able to come in, get those 2 KOs, devastating if you're the orange squad. And then look at this, also able to take down that Gengar. So that was a pretty exciting moment right there. Could be defining moment for this purple squad early on as we go for this first dreadnaw about 4 minutes into our match. Point I was making before though is that sometimes, you know, yeah, we do want to have a focal point of who we're spectating, which today is Snorlax, but in other matches, you know, we might have spectated the jungler, and that's gonna do it. Looks like the Talonflame is going to get that dreadnaw for the purple squad, so left side team is gonna get the experience, the shield. Very good, great start, I would say, for this amazing match right here. Already, Snorlax and Talonflame unable to drop in right there, which is kind of okay, but I mean, you do want some of your 40s and stuff to score, especially when that goal is gonna break, say, on something weaker, like 14 points, 10 points, whatever. Get your 40 in there to score that, because if you're gonna break that goal, might as well break it with that huge amount of points, rather than the smaller little bits. So if we kind of move away, for instance, we're looking at Venusaur right now. With Spectator mode, we have the power to see the entire map. map, I think it would be, unwise for us to not take advantage of that. So just kind of to address, I've only gotten this comment like once or twice, but like sometimes, yes, we will move away from the focal Pokemon, but we are going to emphasize, of course, Snorlax, for instance, in this match. But whoever we're spectating, we are going to, of course, sort of look at it from their perspective as much as we can. But I mean, sometimes there's just not something going on with the focal Pokemon, and this was pretty amazing right here. At least we were able to catch the action like that, but it's just, that's always kind of the challenge that I do want to emphasize to people if you're viewing this, is that I do try to stay cognizant of that fact. I'm just trying to stay where the action is as much as possible, and granted, knowing that we're going to miss some of it, unfortunately. So this Snorlax should be coming into its own right now at level 10. This is a great time to be a Snorlax, right? Because you've probably got the moveset you want, of course. So we're going to confirm right now, of course, that's going to be Heavy Slam and Block right here for Celestial, our Snorlax player today. That really is a great build. It's the blocking build, right? And so literally this move is called Block. This is, I consider that it was very broken in the early stage. Going to be using that Unite on top of the goal. There's, kind of two places that are wonderful for that Unite move to use. Look at that, gonna pull off the Heavy Slam KO against that Lucario player. Absolutely wonderful play by Celestial right here. Also gonna maybe take down this Wigglytuff with that Venusaur. Wow, a trade KO right there. Venusaur for Wigglytuff gonna trade each other's lives with a lot of help from Snorlax though, of course. But the point that I was gonna make about that Power Nap, Snorlax's Unite move, is using it on top of goals. It's just a really advantageous spot to use it because you could block, of course, people from scoring on your own goal. And did you see this, you guys? That's absolutely insane. Crustle now on the orange team is going to actually steal that dreadnaw right from underneath the noses of the purple squad. That's got to be frustrating, especially when you have more purples on it. You've been doing all that damage, and then somebody from the opposing team, they can certainly steal it. So it is never over, even when it looks like it, maybe, if you've got an orange, maybe hanging around while you're doing that dreadnaw. So that was good evidence of that right there. Lucario gonna go ahead and use that aura, use that Unite move. That can position it well to get out of this, but is not gonna escape because they actually now have the advantage. Gonna overwhelm Snorlax like that. Snorlax, man, getting abandoned by that Blissey player. I know that it was kind of in danger and stuff. It's just, was that the right move? It's tough to be Blissey. I definitely have played my fair share of matches as Blissey, and that is always the challenge, is when do you stick around an ally who sometimes, your allies are just going absolutely aggro, being way too aggressive for even Blissey to save. But you do have to try to stick with them as long as you can. Stick with them and support. Heal them up. And speaking of dangerous situations, we are seeing that there was some danger for Purple until Talonflame got the drop, and then now Purple able to change this completely. It was looking like, wow, Orange could kind of get the jump on all these Purple players right here, at least who were here before, but then gonna just completely be taken advantage of by the numbers Purple. Very, very good timing for that. It saved these people like Zeraora, Blissey. Look at this, Venusaur, Talonflame. They all have a 50 to drop right now, and so Snorlax could be the catalyst actually to see that drop. Crustle now on the orange team gonna break that goal on the top lane, and actually had a great time because it's just before Rotom is able to go in there, and so Rotom is now gonna travel, of course, and hit that final goal of Purple, largely uncontested, it looks like. So again, that was great timing by Orange because you can't really, if you are Purple, take all your time to try to stop that Rotom while the Zapdos is coming on screen, and this is the time that they need it, man. They really do need that Zapdos to turn this around. You can see that, the game is still within their reach, and they're gonna get that Zapdos, you guys. This is crazy. So Purple is absolutely now set up for a complete comeback of this. They could turn this around, and usually you do. When you get that Zapdos, it's very easy to score. All those goals, of course, from Orange are going to be disabled right now, so they can just score instantly. You just got to make that mad dash. Snorlax wonderful for this too, because of course Snorlax can block, stun, whatever it may need to do to let all the other squad mates score. Interestingly enough, of course, in this particular case, everyone else has scored before that Snorlax, so it didn't even need to pull off all of its abilities that it has at its disposal. I've said this before, but to use a cliche, maybe it's all over but the crying, I would say. I mean, Orange does have a little bit over a minute to get some of these points in, but I mean, really, it's just the Crustle, and it looks like, is that Wigglytuff? No, it's going to be the Lucario player, of course. Those are the ones with the high scores. Now, I guess we have Gengar as well, so they could turn this around with all three of those scoring, which is really going to be a feat because they don't have the advantage of Zapdos disabling that goal, so they're going to have to take that full time to try to score, which means you're largely going to have to KO everybody around there, and Purple knows it. They've got Snorlax coming in like a bulldozer, going to use that block at a perfect time, and Heavy Slam, and going to Unite. Snorlax does not want anybody scoring on this goal. Perfect play by Celestial right there. That's what you got to do as a Snorlax player, as a defender. Wonderful play. So look at this. Snorlax going to push them all back, saying not today, folks. So that orange, who actually did get one of those goals, but one of those powerful goals, we can say, but still, that's to no avail because you see how far ahead as spectators we got to see the score. Of course, now the countdown is here, and it is all over, ladies and gentlemen. We got to see just some remarkable play here, especially by Snorlax, but also all of its squad mates. Not going to be able to get that 34. It's not needed right there, and of course, that would be 34 times 2 this late in the game. Looks like there's some kind of glitching going on. Usually we see the scoring come out right about now, so yeah, I guess we're not even going to get to see that. So, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. That is completely on the game, though, unfortunately. If you have in-screen annotations on right now, please feel free to click that in-screen to see another matchup. I've been Dr. Kendo. What a treat to see that game, and thanks for viewing.